Hi, this is Wishop, and this is your reading for the Aries new moon of October 19th, 2017, and it will go through the full moon in Taurus on November 4th. So, here in the east of the United States, it's going to be the afternoon of October 19th. But the overwhelming energies that I guess I'd talk about, it's a new moon in Libra, so that's the classic seventh house of partnerships, people who are closest in your life. It can be work, it can be your very close family members, your romantic partner, your best friend. The way I like to think about it is somebody who has the power to make or break your day. Somebody who, if they're having a bad day, it also affects your day. So it can be that they cause problems for you, but a lot of times it's because we so deeply connect with these people that their impact on our lives is felt on a daily basis. So that's kind of, yeah, that's how I'd say it. So, because we've got the new moon there and we have this, that means the sun and moon are conjunct, they're next to each other, so we can't see the moon. And they're going to be in Libra, and they're basically pinging off of the opposite side of the chart, Uranus in Aries. And then we also have Jupiter and Mercury that are going to be conjunct just at the very beginning degrees of Scorpio. I would say the big thing to look for, as far as I see it, is disclosure from yourself or someone else who's taking an important role in your life. There's a need that we're feeling or someone else is feeling to come clean, not necessarily on a dark secret, but something that we feel is a flaw within ourselves, that we feel a sense of candor, that we want to explain or disclose the areas in which we don't feel so confident, we don't feel so competent. And in doing that, we can reach a new level of closeness, because chances are the other person that we're dealing with doesn't need us to be perfect at everything, doesn't require that of us, and may in fact look forward to that admission as a chance to come forward and to complement our contributions. But all that requires candor, and it requires a little bit of humility. And I think Jupiter and Mercury together not only are bringing these kinds of disclosures forward, but they're also giving us this sense, this expansive quality that in coming clean, we reach a better spiritual waterline with ourselves, right? We're doing this not just because it's sort of being forced out of us. Uranus and Aries is making us just explode with the unexpected, but also because this is bringing us in a direction that is closer to our true selves. So if you're feeling that there's some area of life where you probably need to make an admission, as I said, this doesn't feel to me so much like dark secrets. It's more like getting real with ourselves. And in doing that, we feel like we ought to get real with someone else. Like, oh, this is what I've realized about myself. I don't think I'm very good at whatever. And does that mean that you can celebrate the things that you are really good at and let someone else respond, and perhaps even fill up in the places where you feel empty? You know, can we let that partnership become more contributory and more essential by admitting there are things that we really need? This is not about, I think, diminishing your own strength. This is about having that true strength of knowing your own value and feeling confident enough about your own value that you don't have to be everything to everyone, and that you can appreciate other people for who they are. And hopefully also have a great deal of compassion. If these disclosures are coming your way, I think it becomes a time that you can really embrace, with that new moon in Libra, this enhanced intimacy of getting that disclosure, of feeling more closeness to that person. So there could be a coming down of walls in some sense between you and some other important person in your life. And it could be in a work sense too, a romantic sense, a family sense, but there's a coming down of a wall that comes through some sort of personal admission. So I thought I would do geomancy this week. I'm going to do 2 witnesses and a judge. I'm going to roll dice for the 2 witnesses, and I'm going to sum them up to get the judge. I will also pull a single Lenormand card to give us an idea of the focal area. So looking at these beautiful foxes and the demon gates of Japan, let us roll the dice and see where we're at. Okay. So if you have seen me do this with the I Ching, then you know kind of how it goes. So odd, 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 even. So I'm going to pull the card for that. Bottoms, and I'll show you more clearly. But so the first witness is Cauda Draconis, the tail of the dragon. You can see odd, 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 even. Here's the second witness. Even, odd, even, odd. Okay. So the second witness is acquisitio. If you can see that, even, odd, even, odd. And now we sum these together to get the judge. And I will hold these up so you can see them better and we'll talk through them. Okay, so if I sum the top line, the headline, we have odd plus even makes odd, right? Because we add it up and we get the number 3, so that'll be odd. Odd and odd is going to be even, if that makes sense. So here we have 1 and 2 on this is head, heart, belly, feet as we see the lines. So here on the belly line, the third line, we've got 1 plus 2, so that makes 3, which is an odd number. So we have odd again. And then at the bottom, we have another odd. So we have odd, even, odd, odd. And I know which one that is. It is poia. So here she is. And okay, so maybe I can just zoom in. Let's do that. We'll refocus and zoom in. Okay, so what we've got here in Cauda Draconis, the tail of the dragon, is something that ends in difficulty. So it could have been some situation in your past. This is sort of the inner situation in the witnesses. So some people call this the mother of the judge, and some people call this the father of the judge. So you can think of this as the inner circumstances and the outer circumstances. So the inner circumstances are something ended, you could say maybe in a blaze of glory. It might not feel like a blaze of glory, but something ended with a bang. Something ended, and it could have been in an internal situation, kind of a messy one. In the external situation, where we have acquisitio, because this is a card of the moon's node, the south node. So this is things you're leaving behind. Acquisitio here, which is Jupiter in the earth sign. No, Jupiter in the fire sign. This is for Sagittarius. And acquisitio is a card of gain. So it's the 2 golden bowls. You've gained something, you're expanding. So the witnesses are something ending with a bang and something new beginning perhaps. And it's going to be a concrete beginning because this is in the external position. So it's some new start that you have made in a concrete, tangible way. So something you've actually taken action on that represents some great new expansion. But it has required leaving something behind, and leaving something behind very decisively, extremely decisively. So because both of these are fire, we can see the situation has been volatile, or very emotional. It's, it's created some, even heartburn might be a good way to put it. There's been some heartburn in this situation. And the judge, the outcome is poia, which is interesting because this is 11. This is the glyph, the geomancy glyph for Libra. So it's Venus in air, and we're hitting the new moon in Libra. And poia, acquisitio, is a stable glyph. You can see the line under it that marks it as stable. This has a line under it too, which is my little shorthand for stability. So poia is also stable. So what's happening is you're going out of this mobile, explosive, volatile situation into some new sense of stability. And that should bring a great amount of peace and a feeling of mental clarity that you have not had up till this point. So this is a very, very positive outcome. But it looks like you may be dealing with some of the after effects of whatever prior situation you've come out of. And the difficulty, I suppose, as always, is not carrying whatever the fireworks were from this goodbye, whatever the difficult issues were from this goodbye, see you later, whatever it was you left behind, not carrying ugliness from that situation or a whole lot of emotional baggage from that situation into the new one. Now, we all carry emotional baggage. That's part of our experience. That's part of what we've learned. But you don't want to make every new thing into the face of something that you've come from before. So acquisitio really offers something beautiful and new, but it is at the cost of really saying that this thing I'm doing now is quite different from what I've done before. And the results will be different. This is especially true if you had an area where you did not feel that you succeeded, so to speak. You felt disappointment. You felt like you were a failure. Acquisitio promises great success at something. But that success requires you to kind of harmonize these views within yourself, to be smart and pragmatic about learning from your experience, but also to be calm and poised looking into the future so that you don't look into the future with this after effect of what you've been through that causes you not to be able to see your opportunities well. Poia is also because it's an air sign, it's very cognizant, I guess I would say. It's sharp and analytical. So chances are you're analyzing things you've been through. And this may benefit this kind of disclosure that someone else is going through or you're going through. So here's our Lenormand card just to give some idea of the part of life we might be talking about. Oh, look at that. Okay, so we have the coffin. All right, let me back up a little bit here. Okay, the coffin is actually, in my use, the coffin is the 8th house of Scorpio. The coffin is, in some sense, the house of endings. It is the place where we deal with old business. And it is the place in the 8th house where we come clean on things that have been a problem in our past. We put things to bed, if that makes sense. We put things to rest. So definitely the overwhelming message is to put to rest things you need to put to rest. And if that requires disclosure from yourself or accepting peacefully and with poise a disclosure from someone else, the timing is right for you to do it. And hopefully you'll feel a great sense of harmony and productive optimism going forward. So hope you have a great new moon and rock on with your bad selves.